So, Xavier, why should I hire you over Sam?
'Cause I'm so much better. So much better.
Okay. Can you tell me how you are better?
Come on. I'm tall, dark, and chocolate. I
Okay.
could note it. I could note it. Oh, man.
And Sam,
Uh,
do you agree?
I disagree, Robbie. And let me tell you
Okay.
why. Let me tell you
Okay.
why.
Tell me why.
Because going through school, Zay could not stay awake during class.
Okay. Resulting to
And
personal attacks. I love it. Keep going.
hey, man. It was right
and he
after
would blame
lunch.
everyone else, blame all his classmates, blame his alarm, blame his car, why he was late, showing up 40 minutes late to a 50-minute exam, sleeping through
was only
class
once.
up front. He's just not
Not a
reliable,
good look.
not dependable. It's not a good look. It's not a good
Not a
look. I
good
agree
look.
with you. You should hire me over.
Yeah, I think you should hire Sam.
You're listening to Rated RX. Your dose for the day.
All right, guys. Well, you're listening to the Rated RX podcast. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Robbie here with Sam and Xavier. We got the Under the Cap segment following the theme of preparing for your pharmacy interviews. Guys, your pharmacy residencies are coming up, and I'm sure you're nervous about all your interview process. And there's a lot of good information out there about how to prepare, and there's a lot of bad information out there. And for this segment, we're going to go over an article titled 8 Most Asked Pharmacy Interview Questions and How to Answer Them. Okay, so for this segment, I'm going to have Sam and Xavier rotate answering these questions, and we're going to judge each response, and then we're going to critique this article's way of how it should be answered. Because I'm going to be honest, there's some I disagree with, but you can disagree with me too, but we'll get into it. So since I started with Xavier first, Sam, I'm going to start with you. One of the most common interview questions, whether that's for a job, any job, residency, interview, pharmacy school, the infamous, tell me about yourself. So Sam, tell me about yourself in a couple sentences.
Couple sentences.
Couple
Okay.
sentences. You know what?
And
as
we're saying
much as you want. Tell
we're
me
saying
about.
this.
Tell me
this
when
is me interviewing for some position, pharmacy
are-
position. I'm trying to do.
you are interviewing for CEO of Farmco, and the job pays $1 million a year. So there's a lot on the line here for you.
Tell you about myself. All right, Robbie. I would say I'm passionate about pharmacy. It's what I love. It's what I dream of. As I've worked, I've improved both myself and the company every step of the way. And I find myself that I have a lot of personal experience that would very much help this company. And I think I would be a great fit for what you guys have here.
Okay. Xavier, how would you rate that response?
I think that was pretty strong. He could have gave just a little bit more, like, about, what he's done or, like,
Well, I had two
how he
sentences.
I know. You only had he said a couple sentences. But then he changed it. He said you can say as much as
Yeah,
you
he
want.
did.
Yeah.
Okay, he did.
So
But I was
listening
still
skills
mentally, I was
poor.
still trying
Listening
to.
skills poor.
No,
How
think
do
he-
I respond
think he did a
in
good
two
job, though.
sentences to my?
Yeah, I think he did a good job. Like, he did like a brief overview of who you are, why you think you're a good fit for this job, and how you became the person that you are a little bit. Maybe add a little bit more about that. Like, why are you so yourself?
Why are you yourself?
Why are you so yourself?
Why you so
But-
yourself?
Yeah. But I think it was pretty good for the amount of time and how, a couple sentences that you had. Wasn't bad.
Yeah. I think you did pretty good too. According to this article, the best way to answer this question is briefly describe your education, work history, and your goals in pharmacy. And you sort of touched on that. I think a better answer, not your answer necessarily, but a better way to answer this question rather than what the article is suggesting is answer your past, present, and future. What you did in the past, what you're doing now, and how this current job you're applying for helps you reach your goals and how you guys would be a good fit for each other. So I like going past, present, and future, but what do you guys think about that? How do you normally answer that question? I guess not
So
you,
yeah,
Sam, since you already answered that. We got a taste of how you answered that question.
Okay. Off the hook.
I
You're off
mean,
the hook.
there's multiple ways to do it, but I do start with my education. I'm a clinical pharmacist from Craig University, residency training at the Craig University Medical Center. From there, started working at the VA. I'm a Florida pharmacist where I work in multiple different departments. So I'm skilled in various areas of pharmacy, such as geriatrics
You don't have to
and
answer
critical
the
care,
actual
ICU,
question.
and blah, blah, blah. Oh, my bad. But I would do that, and then I'll wrap it up. But like, this company is amazing for me, for my goals, because I really like to focus more on this patient population. Let's say I'm a board certified
Yeah.
geriatric pharmacist now, and I like to work more with this patient population because I think that's where the future is going, and I want to be a part of that future, something like that.
Yeah, I think the secret sauce is the very ending about what your future goal is and how this job is a match made in heaven for you to reach that goal and they mutually benefit. So
Yeah, I
that's
love
the only
that.
thing I would add to this article. So
Yeah.
now, Xavier, are you ready for
shit.
question 2? Sam, I want you to critique
Okay.
Xavier here. Okay.
Let me get my pen out.
Okay.
Get your pen out. Get it out. So, Xavier, why did you choose pharmacy as a career path?
Oh, I
Often
got a
hear
good
that
one,
one,
for
right?
this. Yeah.
He's got a scripted
I
have a good one.
answer. Let's
Well,
go.
I've answered this one all my life, and my answer has always been the same. In 6th grade, I had to write a career report paper, and I did research on various careers. I knew I was good in math and science, so I decided to do a medical field. I didn't want to be a doctor because I didn't actually want to touch people, but I also, wanted to have some expertise in something, and pharmacy turned out to be like the sweet spot. I also looked at the job outlook at the time, so when I was in 6th grade, pharmacy was booming. They needed more pharmacists, and the outlook was great. And they need to hire a lot of pharmacists. So, but by the time, I got to pharmacy school,
Feels bad, man.
it was opposite. They had too
You
many,
learned real quick.
but I chose that career path because, as I continued to work towards that career path, I knew I wanted to help people get more healthy, and I just knew that the career would basically always be around because people are getting older and they're always going to need help with health and medications. So it felt like a more stable career path for me for my long-term goals.
Okay. Sam,
Like
how do you
that.
rate that answer?
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
It was
I'll
pretty
give
good.
it to him. He gets a check plus.
Okay.
I'll give it
Let's
to
go.
him. So he did have a specific story, something to relate to, not just vague pieces. It's like, thought I liked the healthcare as a kid. There at least have something to communicate to. Points to a idea of him wanting to be here, wanting to be in the field, something he's thought about before, and not just a last minute ditch of I was tried business and hated it, so I'm trying pharmacy now. On that, so I think he did pretty
Seems
good.
chill. Why not?
That's a little crazy though. Like business and then go to pharmacy. Like that's a big jump.
I think this is what the article says. And it says, if you have had an early experience with a pharmacist, reflect on it. If you were impacted by a pharmacist, talk about them. If they had any other interests that tie into pharmacy, explain them. So you got that last part, the science, helping people, but that secret sauce of inspiration. But
I did shadow a pharmacist in high school too. After I just determined that I wanted to do so. I forgot to add that part, so I could add that.
All right, so
Thanks.
it's there.
It's
You
there.
are ready for you have a job, so it's not like you had a wrong
been a
answer.
while.
So
Yeah.
so exactly.
It's been a while. Nice.
Okay. Yeah.
I agree with that though. I think that's a good way to answer that question.
Yeah. It's a little something. They want to hear that you think pharmacists are heroes. So, Sam, question 3. You ready?
Okay.
The dreaded behavioral question. Describe a time you handled a difficult patient. And it's looking for a certain structure format.
Mm-hmm.
And Xavier knows what it is, that certain way of answering the question. But let's hear your take first.
Okay. Difficult patient. I would say going through my pharmacy career, the hardest thing I had at least initially learning was showing empathy to patients, or trying to put myself in their shoes, letting them understand that I knew what they were talking about. So yes, I could try to help them. Yes, I could do that, but not necessarily trying to communicate, hey, I understand you're upset. I understand that you're very sad, or, patient has died, or whatever it may be. So I think over the years, I've gotten much better at that, on being able to show that empathy. So examples of being able to communicate that, of someone coming in and, usually, unfortunately, it's they're mad. That's usually in pharmacy. Unfortunately, that's what we see. They're mad about a script. Something didn't come through. I'd say the most common one we see is, the doctor said they sent it over. Why isn't it ready yet? They said it'd be ready. They sent it over 5 minutes ago, and trying to empathize with them. So yeah, I'm sure they send it out. No shade to the doctor. That they're very good at their job. It's probably still on the way. Maybe we don't have it yet. I understand you're came here with an expectation. Let's see if we can help you and get that. So going through steps of trying to find that. Unfortunately, usually at something that quick, it's nope, we don't have it yet. So it's like, hey, I'm sorry. I know they said it here. I don't see it here. It's on the way. Trying to problem solve with them. Hey, I can give them a call. I can try to refresh this. Give us a few minutes. We, usually we'll call you when it comes through, and then trying to solve or be a part of that. So yeah, it did come through. I'm sorry. It's still going to be X number of minutes. My background of compounding, hey, it's going to be a few hours at the minimum to do this versus, retail. Yeah, it's still going to be 20, 30 minutes for us to get this script through. So trying to set those expectations for them, and overall trying to make sure that they're still getting what they need, feel that their needs are met, feel that they were heard. And sometimes that can be hard because they do come in hot. They do come in mad, and trying to regulate both your own emotions and empathize to them is kind of the general thing, I would say, in interacting with those patients.
Okay. Heard empathy a lot in there. Yes.
Not
Xavier,
bad.
scale of 1 to 5. How do you rank that answer?
1 to 5. 5 is the best, and 1
5
is.
being the best.
I'll give him a 4. It was very
Okay.
strong. He did. It was a little long, but it's because he was describing like multiple things. He didn't have one specific topic. But normally, if he was in a real interview, he was talking about one specific situation. I think he did pretty good with the STAR method. He did talk about the task before the situation. He
Can you
did
tell
talk
our
about.
listeners what the STAR method is?
So the
Who
STAR
may not know.
method has an acronym for how you should answer questions. So you can do it in a thorough process, neat and organized, and that way you don't talk too long and you get all your points for the question answered, right? So the situation, you want to talk about the situation, basically set it up, what happened, the task, what you have to do, the action, what did you do after everything happened, and then the results, how did you resolve everything? And then lastly, most of the time you summarize all that in a short spiel afterwards. So you kind of did the task before the situation, but overall, you did hit all
I was
four
just winging
parts.
it, man. I was just
This
winging
guy-
it.
I know.
This guy had a job before pharmacy school ended. So he didn't have to interview. He was locked in. He was good. He didn't go through this aggravating process.
That's right.
But yeah, STAR method. Definitely STAR method. That's actually what the article says too.
How would you just have a nice, complete, compact answer the way you don't go too long or anything?
Yes. And the only other thing I would add, Sam, is describe a time you handled a difficult patient. I was looking for a specific example.
Yeah.
Yes, not your daily life.
Too broad.
Too broad. It's got to be specific. So if you're out there looking for jobs, have your examples ready. When you're on rotations, write down stuff that happened so you don't have to recall it later, and you just have a running list of everything. So that would be my advice to you. Great questions.
Robbie.
Thank you. It's been a while, but I still work with students and I coach them. All right, question 4. Xavier, are you ready?
Let's go.
What would you do if you discovered a prescription error?
What I would do is like, boom, okay, I found an error, right? So first, let's make sure we figure out that the patient did not receive the medication and that no harm was done. And then 2, we're going to go back and kind of backtrack and try to figure out where the error happened in our chain, right? So let's do some triage and figure out where the error happened. So after we figure it out, we get everything fixed. We go back and fix the issue and make sure everything is good so we can get the prescription out to the patient. And lastly, we will go and make some protocols or make some changes to our workflow so that the error doesn't happen again. So ideally, those are the things that I will attempt to do if I discover an error.
Okay. Okay. Sam, 1 to 5, 5 being the best. How would you rank Xavier's answer?
3.86.
3.86. What could he
I'll
do
take it.
to improve?
It was, I guess, levels of accountability to
Okay.
represent.
Mm.
You did frame it that it was, someone else. So I would think I guess, tricky or unique way of doing it is like if you caught an error that you did yourself or later, like down the road, like how would you respond, and so that could be a tricky way to ask a question. But again, this is someone else. So show an accountability for the process, if it's internal, not showing any blame, things like that of, again, showing, if we're trying to talk about examples of those people skills, showing empathy for your coworkers, if it is a coworker, teamwork of building something. It's like, hey, how do we, fix this? Robbie likes to bring up the Swiss cheese model design of it, trying to bring up these different labels. And then, communicating with each other. But I think you did good about, addressing it, at least bringing it up. You're not just, the main thing is you're not just hiding the air. It's like, oh, whatever, throw it out. You're not that you're hiding that you don't care. It's like, yeah, whatever, we got it fixed. Let's try to address it. Let's let people know, not that we're trying to put blame, but we are wanting to improve as an organization, as a system.
Yeah. I think what this question was trying to get at was learn how you think when you see an error. And Xavier, I'm going to give you more of a 4, maybe even a 4.5, honestly, just because you took time to try to understand the problem, where it happened, and then what process you could do to make sure it doesn't happen again. The only reason, and I don't think I heard you say it, but only reason I'm not giving a 5, but correct me if I'm wrong, is did you say you would document that you found the error?
Oh, there we go. Yep, got to document.
You didn't write it
Gotta
down. It didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
Exactly. So
No,
definitely
that's
document
great
it.
feedback. Great feedback.
Yes. I think your interviewer will take note of that. So they want us documenting for everybody's liability's sake.
Gotcha.
Okay. So there's 8 here. We're only going to go through 5. I will post this link on the episode afterwards if you guys want to read the whole thing. But question 5, and Sam, we'll end on you.
Okay.
How do you stay current with the latest developments in pharmacy?
I would say important ways to stay current are the biggest one, CE. I think it's good that boards of pharmacy require it for everyone. Every board, realistically, requires those. It's a good way to keep you and your colleagues at least trying to be up to date on most common things. For me, personally, the way that happens to work is I end up meeting a lot of inspectors. I'm doing sterile compounding. Usually I'm the one that they talk to. So I think that's a very good way to communicate, not just, obviously it's stressful. They're kind of grilling you and going through things, but usually at the beginning of every one, I also ask them, hey, can you, I know you're here for a specific state, here for a specific thing, but you have a lot of knowledge. Any other tips or off the record things on what you see or want to think could be changed, please let me know. I appreciate those details. And usually every single one is really appreciative of that, of like that I'm not just, being a dick or think that they're assholes to come in here and do whatever. But, I want to learn from you. You guys they spend their 5 days a week going through pharmacies all over the U.S. They have a lot of knowledge. They see a lot. And it's like, hey, just tell me what you see. There's only certain things you're looking at. And did we do this and that? And every state's got their own list. But you see things all the time. You see FDA reports that you guys have to log and see. And so a lot of them do come down to FDA recommendations, like, oh, if the FDA was here, they'd do this and that, which, doesn't really apply, but it also kind of gives you best practice because the FDA is the strictest. They're the roughest ones out there. You don't want them showing up because they can, really put screws on everything, which is, that's the point. They want to make sure everyone's in their place. But the best knowledge that I think I get specific to my job is listening to inspectors and asking them to share with me on what they got, because they see it firsthand. They see it every day. And that's probably the best way to stay up to date for me, because they have a lot of up-to-date knowledge.
Xavier, 1 to 5.
I give him another 4. It was pretty good.
Okay.
The nice part about his is he was able to talk about, for his specific job, how he can stay up to date with things, and he gets a lot of information from being quizzed from the inspectors and then figuring out what other people do wrong, and he's taking all that information and learning from there, or going to find more information afterwards so he can continue to stay up to date with it. Just being inspected so often also forces him to have to stay up to date with the most recent things. So I think he did a good job there. He could have. Only other thing, I guess, he could elaborate a little bit more about workshops and webinars, or
The
going
common
to
ones, CEs,
conferences.
different
Yeah,
things you go to.
but you talk about CEs, but I like how you just specifically how you stay up to date. That's what they're asking, like, how do you stay up to date? And I think that way it's more important for the job.
I got a
guess if you
membership.
didn't
I got a membership to Up to Date, and that's how I stay up to date. Next question.
I guess if you didn't have a job, you probably would answer the question a little bit different, but you had a past job, so you can say, in my past job, this is what I did. It depends on what job you're interviewing for.
Yeah. Sam, I'm going to give you a 4.5. I'm going to give you a good score.
I like it.
The only thing I would say improve on, you touched a little bit about the CEs, and you sort of talked about this. You talked about talking to inspectors, but going to back to Xavier said, depending on the job, if you are applying for, say, a psych job, it's good to say, I am a part of blank membership. I get all their articles. I read it up to date of everything of what's going on in the field. That way you're showing that you have the interest in the job outside of just the job itself.
Making an effort there.
Yes, exactly. I'm applying for a psych job. I read psych magazines because I'm part of this group and organization.
Robbie, do you read the psych magazine?
Nope, sure don't.
Robbie, are you members of the psych organization?
What is it called? I think it's called AAPP. I can't remember the acronym, but it's the pharmacy organization for psych. And I've done the stuff that work is assigned. They've assigned more advanced level psych stuff. Sometimes a little too advanced because I don't see
psych
how
stuff is hard.
It's interesting though, but they're cool. But then there's some stuff I just don't see how it would pertain to our practice. It's like, hey, we gave these people microdoses of mushrooms. It's like, that's cool. I love to read about that, but I don't see us doing that here. So that it's just a little too much, a little too advanced. But cool stuff for sure. Well, that is all I got for this segment. Again, listeners, I'll post this article under the podcast so you can check it out. If you want to learn more about specifically pharmacy residency stuff, there is a video coming out about 5 questions that you will more likely be asked at a pharmacy residency. It's only going to be on the YouTube channel. So if you want to check it out, go on the YouTube channel. It will be probably out the same day this podcast drops. Please please subscribe, please support the show. I'm Robbie Abbasi here with Sam Lona, Xavier Hill. We got your dose for the day, and we're signing out.
Peace.
Rated RX, your dose.